Greetings to all of my beloved parishioners and to all of my online listeners. Father David here, coming to you with my latest audio message. I hope you're all doing well, staying healthy, and keeping those spirits of fear and anxiety far, far away. Thanks be to God, I'm doing just fine. I still very much miss having all of you here for Mass, but as I mentioned before, I am saying Mass privately every day, and I pray for you all at every Mass I celebrate. I'm starting to think that the happiest day of 2020 is going to be the first day that we all get to have Mass together again in our parish, and I really cannot wait for that day to come. As sad as it was to see another Sunday pass without public Mass, I was overjoyed at the response to our drive-through confessions on Saturday. In case you didn't hear, this past weekend I advertised on our parish Facebook page that we'd be having drive-through confessions here at Sacred Heart from 3:30 to 5 on Saturday afternoon. I sat in a chair beneath the big crucifix in our parking lot with 3 orange cones in front of me so that people could pull up in their cars and go to confession. Now, I didn't know if anyone would take me up on the offer, but I figured it was worth a try. Well, would you believe that from 3:30 until 5:30 we had a non-stop line of cars with people looking to go to confession? Instead of pulling up their cars to get their cars washed, they pulled up their cars to get their souls washed. Yes, the setting was a little unusual, but you know, desperate times call for creativity. It was a first for me, but right now I'm willing to try just about anything to get people sacraments in ways that are safe for our health and still, for the time being, legal. So please keep checking our Facebook page and our website for updates about all that's happening here. In today's message, I want to address a frustration that some people have been feeling over the last week or so, especially since our services have been canceled. I've been hearing frustration from a lot of people that this whole coronavirus pandemic has wreaked havoc on their Lent. People are telling me that because of the current situation, they haven't been able to live Lent to the full the way they planned. And that's especially true of people who plan to do things that involve church. People are telling me, Father, I resolved to go to Mass every day for Lent, and now I can't because Mass is canceled. Or I promised God for Lent that I would go to the Stations of the Cross, but now I can't because it's canceled. Or I promised God that I would commit to an hour of adoration every week, but now I'm afraid to leave my house. Or one of my Lenten resolutions was to attend all 3 nights of the parish mission, but now that's out the window. Well, trust me, I know how disappointed you are. I'm disappointed too. Whether these things were part of your Lenten resolutions, or whether you were planning to participate in them in addition to your Lenten resolutions, it's just no longer possible to do so. Most of us can no longer go through Lent the way we normally do or the way we plan to. That's a fact. So here's something I want you to think about in the midst of all this. You may not be able anymore to go through Lent the way you plan to go through Lent, but could it be that God is allowing for that to happen so that you could experience the Lent that He had planned for you all along? And which one do you think is better? The Lent that you planned or the Lent that God planned? Maybe instead of focusing on how disappointed we are that we can't go through Lent the way we had hoped to, we should turn our attention to God and ask Him how He wants us to adjust our plans right now so that they can conform to His. Recently, I heard a speaker talking about the importance of being able to adapt in life. The speaker made a great sports analogy. He said that all good coaches make pre-game plans. They plan out the direction they want their players to try to take the game in, and they plan out what they want their players to do in the course of the game. But of course, games rarely go exactly as planned. If the coach and the players want to win, they have to know how to adapt to what is happening in real time. While all good coaches have pre-game plans, It's the great coaches who know how to adapt those plans to what's actually happening. Great coaches understand the importance of adaptability. Well, if you planned out your Lent to a T, then that was your pre-game plan. And it was good of you to make one. But right now, the game is not going according to any of our plans. So what are you going to do? Are you going to spend your time being upset about that? Or are you going to do in your spiritual life what all great coaches do on the court or on the field? Are you ready to adapt to what's actually happening now? Well, that's what I believe that God is inviting all of us to do at this moment in time. Over the course of my next 3 messages, I'm going to propose some ways that I think God is inviting all of us to adapt our Lenten pre-game plan to the current situation. And I'm going to do that based on the 3 pillars of Lent. For now, I want you to spend some time reflecting on your own. What adjustments might God be asking you to make to your Lenten resolutions? How might God be asking you to adapt right now? What might God be showing you about His plan for your Lent that wasn't in your plan for your Lent? If you can take some quiet time to ponder those questions and then adapt accordingly, you will be embarked on the Lent that God planned for you all along. And as unconventional as that Lent may turn out to be, it could also turn out to be the best Lent of your life.